A button is an object that is used in garments either for the purpose of fastening or for ornamentation or both. Buttons are usually in the shape of a disc or a knob. Evidence shows that buttons have been used since as long back as 1500, 2000 BC. Buttons used in 2600, 2800 BC have been excavated in the ancient Indus Valley, while those used in 1500, 2000 BC have been found in China as well as in Rome. Evolution of button. 13th century, buttons were used as ornament. 16th century, began being attached as a functional fastener. 15th and 16th century, buttons plated with gold and silver were popular among the noble class. 18th century, the trend of enamel buttons set in. Early part of the 19th century, buttons made of fabric as well as glass and ceramic began to be used. Glass and ceramic buttons were not very popular. Middle of 19th century, buttons made of shells, pearls, horn, steel and brass become popular. Later part of the 19th century, enamel buttons made a comeback. 1930, buttons began to be made using wood and plastic. Buttons were initially introduced as a means of ornamentation of the garment, but in course of time, they began serving as fasteners. In the 1940s, men used to wear about 70 buttons on their garments, of which only a few were useful for fastening. After the Second World War, buttons began to be more for functional purposes than for decorative purposes. Types of buttons. According to the linear No. 12L, 14L, 16L, 18L, 26L, 32L, 36L etc. 16L for men's shirt, 26L for trouser, 32L for suit jacket and 36L for cardigan are the most common example of use. According to the material used. Plastic buttons, polyester, polyamide etc. cheap, widely used in shirts. Metal buttons, normally used in denims, trousers etc. Wooden buttons, used mainly in decorative purpose. Horn buttons, made of horns of animals. Artificial horns are also used, which is made of nylon, plastic, additives etc. Chalk buttons, used to make plastic glossy. Logo printed buttons, used for utilitarian decorative both purpose. According to the No. of holes. 2-hole buttons. 4-hole buttons. According to the shape. Flat buttons, 2-4 holes. Shank buttons have a shank, that is a small bar or ring, attached to their back. Snap buttons. Besides them, covered buttons, mandarin buttons etc. are seen. Zipper evolution. Zipper is the brainchild of Mr. Whitcomb Judson. It was introduced in 1893 at the Chicago World's Fair, then with the name clasp locker. Gideon Sundback, an electrical engineer, who was hired to work for the company, designed the modern zipper in 1913. B.F. Goodrich Company renamed it as Zipper. Initially during 1930, zippers were featured in child clothing, complimenting them for helping children to dress up quickly and by themselves. Zippers came into limelight in 1937 through the French fashion designers who used them on men's trouser. Esquire magazine described the zippers as newest tailoring idea for men. The next big boost for zippers came when they were used on jackets and could be opened on both ends. Purpose. Functional purpose, used to open and close the special parts of the garments. Decorative purpose, to increase the beauty. Note, the trimmings which are used to open and close the garments are named as closure. Buttons, zippers, Velcro etc. are well-known closure. Zippers are considered as continuous closure, whereas buttons are intermittent. Type of zipper. Coil zippers, the most commonly used zippers. Normally for lightweight fabric, coil zippers are used. Mainly made from nylon. Invisible zippers have their teeth behind the tape whose color matches exactly with the dress color and their slider and so gives an invisible appearance. Metallic zippers, mainly found in jeans. Made of stainless steel, aluminum, brass, zinc or nickel alloy. Pieces of metals are molded into teeth and are set in a tape at regular intervals. They can be painted in any colors to match with the dress. Plastic molded zippers similar to metallic zippers except the fact that they are made of plastic. They can easily be made in any color of plastic to go with the product. Polyethylene resins and mainly polyacetyl resins are used to make these zippers. Open-ended zippers, used mostly in jackets and have a box and pin mechanism to lock the two sides of the zipper into place. Closed-ended zippers, used mostly in baggage and is closed in both ends. Zipper construction. Tape. Majority of twill woven from 100% polyester or cotton polyester, nylon or combination of those. Knitted tapes are mostly used in knitted garments. Chain. Made of metal or plastic. Slider. Slider moves up and down along the length of the zipper. The function of slider is to engage or disengage the opposite sides of chain, i.e. for opening and closing the teeth. Sliders can be non-locking, semi-locking, fully auto-locking, top and bottom stop. Prevent the excessive up and down movement of the slider. Puller pull tab. It is an additional part which helps to move the slider with ease. Linings. Linings are generally a functional part of a garment. They are generally used to maintain the shape of a garment, to improve the hang and comfort by allowing it to slide over other garments, to add insulation, and to cover the inside of a garment of complicated construction to make it neat. Linings are available as warp knits, but predominantly they are woven and are made from polyester, polyamide, acetate and viscose for use where a slippery material is required, and from cotton. Polyester, cotton and wool or wool mixtures in plain or brushed versions where decoration or warm handle is required. Where non-slippery lining fabrics are used in garments, they are generally used only for the body, the sleeve being lined with a more slippery material to make putting on and taking off easier. Linings made from polyester, polyamide or viscose can, in some constructions, be prone to the problem of seam slippage. Since these fabrics also tend to fray easily, and it may be necessary to neaten seam edges during lining construction. Where a coat and its lining are open at the hem, it is common to neaten the lining edges. In practice, if safety stitch machines are available, linings can be joined and neatened simultaneously at no extra cost except for the thread. Labels. Labels are mandatory in case of international garments trading. Without label, no garments can be sold. Trade name, country of origin, size, care instruction etc. are shown mainly on the label. In good quality labels, informations are woven by narrow loom. The cut ends are folded inward and sewn with plain or zigzag machine. Low price labels are wider and are printed on a fabric made from thermoplastic fiber. The cut edge are heat sealed and supplied in roll form to the RMG industry. Motif. Sometime, to increase the beauty of the garments, in the face side of the garments a special component is attached which is called motif. Motif may contain company name, trademark or any other symbol. In these conditions it is very tough to distinguish label and motif. But generally, motif is in the face outer side of the garments, and labels are in the inner side. In maximum case, motifs are embroidered design and sometimes printed. Sometimes motifs are made with some thermoplastic fiber in it and that motifs are attached by ultrasonic welding. Motifs can be sewn also.